Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Wednesday, June 16th. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. I know we changed up the format a little bit last week. We're going to continue with that change into this week. This week is going to be a little bit tough because I'll be traveling tomorrow. So we're not going to have a guest on the podcast. We'll just pick it up next week with our kind of our regular schedule. We waited till Wednesday this week for good reason. We'll talk about that at the end of the podcast today. So it's a little bit delayed on the solo podcast, but again, solo podcast earlier in the week, bringing in a guest later in the week. That is the goal for these weeks coming forward. And after I get back from traveling over the weekend, we'll be hitting that regular schedule going forward. I promise you that. We did have Denny Cray from the Diz Runs podcast, a regular guest. It's always nice to circle up with Denny every couple of months, and it's probably been a year. We're trying to do once a year, let's call it. But a regular guest nonetheless. It's good to have Denny come on and just shoot it around with him, get up to date on what he's been up to. So if you haven't seen that one or listened to it, check out ordinarymarathoner.com, the podcasting aggregators, or our YouTube channel, Ordinary Marathoner. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. I think we're about 192, 193, something like that, but it's building. It is building. We're building an audience. Love to see it. So thank you guys for subscribing over at YouTube. It's kind of, I think that's kind of like where our focus is right now. We want to kind of build that up a little bit, build up that viewership, hoping we're putting out good content over at the YouTube channel. Because we changed that format, I was a little bit unprepared, I got to be honest, for the format change last week. And I missed some races last weekend, and I want to make sure I get the races for this upcoming weekend. So again, if you're on Team Ordinary, go over to teamordinary.com, go to the race schedule. There's a spot to enter your races there. Make sure you enter the cities and stuff make sure to put the town in there where you're racing, and we'll update our race calendar. I did that last weekend. I think I did miss a race or two, and I did miss a couple from last week. Both of them, Matt Shore. Matt, I didn't actually see you post this race, or I don't know, maybe I missed it, but the Black Flag Challenge, that was June 12th. It was a gravel bike race. If you did do it, I hope you did well. I don't remember the post, but that could just be, it's been a tough week. It's just been a tough week. I do know that Matt did a sprint try over the weekend at I believe it was Green Lake Park. And man, he crushed it. Him and I were talking about a week and a half ago about Ironman Lake Placid. He's doing Ironman Lake Placid again this year. And, the prevailing thought was that the swim was sort of his weak spot, if any, this year. He's lost a ton of weight. He's riding really hard. He should be good to go getting out of that water. And he posted a 2:20 swim. That's a 2 minute and 20 second, 100-yard swim. And granted, I think the race was 600 yards. So, you got a little more to go in Lake Placid. I think it's like 4,400 or 4,500 yards in Lake Placid. But that's a good sign. If you're doing a 220 for a short swim, man, I could see you hour and a half. Can we talk about an hour and a half, Matt? Getting out of that water in an hour and a half on Lake Placid? I think that's a good goal. You work on that swim for between now and then. I think, maybe it's pushing it, but maybe. Best of luck to Matt Shore, training this next month for Ironman Lake Placid. 6/17, June 17th. That's tomorrow. Stu Wiener doing the Narragansett Summer Nights 5K. Best of luck to you, Stu, out there. We got June 19th, Jen Bergstrom doing the Leadville Trail Marathon. I'm assuming that's done in Leadville, where the Leadville 100 is done. So this is kind of like a Leadville light. Leadville light, only 26.2 miles. But best of luck to you, Jen, out there. I know you're in good shape. You've been crushing it lately, and wish you good luck over the weekend. June 20 is a big day for Team Ordinary. Ken Caldwell is out there doing the Braintree Day 5K, but we also have the Ironman Des Moines 70.3. Now, this is a big one because two of the athletes that I coach, Aaron Shepard and Mike Romans, both of them have been guests on the podcast in the past. Two of those athletes those are athletes I'm coaching. And Aaron in particular, I've coached for over a year now. She's been working hard at this for over a year. And she's ready. She's ready. She's ready to get in that water. Aaron, and get going. She's gonna crush it, and I can't wait to watch her cross that finish line. It's like, it gives me butterflies just thinking about it. Mike and I have been training since like October, November, and he's ready too, man. You guys are both going to crush it. I can't wait to get to Des Moines. And I think that might be the first time any human being has said that sentence. I can't wait to get to Des Moines, but I can't, and I can't wait to see you guys get out there and do your thing and get it done, cross that finish line, get those medals. It's going to be a very proud moment for Team Ordinary. So best of luck, guys. We'll see you there too. It's like, I've never met these guys in person. I've talked to them nearly daily. For Aaron for, about a year and a half. Mike even before I coached him, we were talking as friends for like over a year. So, it's going to be, no more masks. We shed the masks, and it's going to be a big hug fest out there in Des Moines, to tell you that. Both you guys. That's right, Mike. Coming at you. Give me a big bear hug there, buddy. Other big news this week. This has been, all right, we're having some good news here. I wrote this kind of stuff down, and I didn't even notice how we're having like a pretty good news week here. Now, we talked about our Ordinary Marathoner Foundation's first inaugural program, the Running for Autism program, put together by Scott Frossard. We've talked about it a few times. We've had Scott Frossard here on the podcast discussing it. We put out applications in April. We were looking for applications, people to come in and apply to become the first participant in the Running for Autism program. Then I did a podcast about a month ago that April went by, and we had no takers, no applications, no participants. There were two ways to focus on that, right? Two ways to go from there. You either kind of pack it up and say, all right, we got to change this all together, wholesale changes, or you double down. And you reopen the application process, and you get some boots on the ground. You start making some calls, reaching out, saying some emails, and spreading the word. And we did just that. We worked really hard. We contacted everyone we knew, and lo and behold, Jonah Papovich, 15 years old, from Pflugerville, Texas. You are our very first Running for Autism participant. I spoke to Jonah. Me and Scott spoke to Jonah. Scott and I, spoke to Jonah and his parents last Friday. And Jonah's going to be training for a 5K, probably around the turkey trot time. So something like November. He's going to be training with Coach Briana Roehling, also of Pflugerville, Texas. Briana had coached Scott Frossard to his first Ironman. So we know she can take a challenge. She can handle a challenge. She can be successful. But we're gonna match those two up together real soon. Put him on a plan. We're gonna follow him all the way through. And I want to thank Jonah and his parents for being really receptive to this and being as excited as we are. I think to get this going for Jonah. And man, we look forward. I can't tell you. I look forward to seeing him cross that finish line, and just knowing knowing that he's gonna put in the work to do it, and knowing B, that we had a little bit to do with it. From our perspective, and you guys listening, if you're listening. Whether you contributed or not, if you contributed, that's awesome. Thank you so much. If you ran the Ordinary Marathoner with us, Ordinary Marathon, with us, you definitely contributed, and you guys made this happen. You guys, this community, the goodness, the kindness, the generosity of this community has made this happen, and there's more to come, folks. This is just program number one. This is program number one in a line of ideas that we have, and actually, I just remembered another idea that I had that I forgot to mention in my last meeting. So we have lots of ideas. We have new ideas coming up all the time. And man, it just, I think one of the good things is I keep getting phone calls. And I get phone calls from people. Hey, do you ever do this? Do you ever think about doing this? And next thing I know, I'm talking to people. So next week we have a call. Well, in 2 weeks we have a call with someone from foster care, a foster care nonprofit. And we hope that we can do some collaboration there. We have a call we're developing our kids clinic. We have a call for that next week. We just have all these things kind of rolling in. I have a call about potential, working with potentially with a homeless group and doing a running program there. There is so much going on behind the scenes. And this is all, it's all because of you guys. You guys got the ball rolling. You guys, have helped fund us. And we're just taking the ball and going with it. And so far so good. And I can't wait to see Jonah have success with the run. And I think we've done a real good job kind of setting this thing up. And now we just kind of got to let it fly and watch what it does. And hopefully we get some attention, and hopefully, it gives us some exposure and brings in some more money so we can do even more good things. So maybe we'll have 2 participants next time or 3 participants next time. Maybe we'll branch out from that Texas area from where we're kind of housed with that Running for Autism program. Maybe we can do some coaching thing. Our ideas are branching out, and it's exciting, and it's an exciting time. So thank you guys all for your time, your focus, your attention, and just your generosity and kindness. I think it all has led to this moment. So thank you. Speaking of the Ordinary Marathon, we are open for business. Now, the main change, the reason why we kind of delayed, we like to say that we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for registration. But we did, after this year's race, we kind of shut it down because we're migrating over to the Race Roster platform. Now, what does that mean for you, the participant? Not much. The race is still the same. You don't have to change much at all. It's just going to be a difference in the way you register. However, it does, if you'd like to take part, it will enhance your experience. Let me explain. Number one, they're taking a lot off of Scott and I's plate. Scott and I have been doing all of the back work, the back end work, the operations sort of things, behind the race itself. And now they're going to take over a lot of that. So that's good. It's a lot of time that's going to free up for us to try to enhance the race in other ways, which we love. Number two, when you sign up, you have 2 options. You can either join the 26.2 mile challenge, which is sort of the kind of overarching theme we've always had with the Ordinary Marathon, which is, a lot of people see the word marathon and they think, 26.2 miles, that's a marathon. So you have 10 days to do 26.2 miles. We've embraced that. We love that as a goal. We think it's a great goal. However, we have people on both ends of that spectrum. People that say, hey, 26.2 only over 10 days. And people that say, 26.2, I can't do that much in 10 days. You can choose option B, which is set your own goal. That goal can be below 26.2. It can be above 26.2. It can be whatever you want it to be. I'm not even sure if it really explicitly asks you for that in the registration process. I don't think it does. But you can set your own goal. So everyone can participate in this race, no matter what your fitness level is. It's always been about participation and support, right? And encouragement. And we like to keep it that way at the Ordinary Marathon. Race Roster is really helping us out. You can check out, if you go, so I can't give you the link. It's long. I think we did, I'm not sure if you can, I'm changing the ordinarymarathon.com webpage as we speak. So I wouldn't necessarily say go there, but if you go to raceroster.com and you search for Ordinary Marathon, you will find it. We will be sending out emails behind this too. So if you're on our mailing list, you can expect an email with links and stuff to the Ordinary Marathon, how to register over at Race Roster. Number 2, development is that everyone who registers gets a fundraising page. Now, this isn't the New York City Marathon, folks. It's not Boston. It's not anything like that. You are not required to fundraise. All right. You're not required to fundraise. It's just a nice thing to have. You can set up your fundraising page. You can write your story. You can write why you like the race or why you're participating in the race. And if you'd like, you can take that story. You can copy the link. You can upload a picture in there too. Post it on social media, post it to your friends, and just put a message out there if you want to fundraise. It would be nice to donate to the cause. And I think it's going to help us. This kind of thing is going to help us. Again, not required. There's no fundraising police that's going to find you and follow you and, or anything like that. But, it's just a nice thing, I think, to have and a good thing to do, a feel good thing to do. If you raise some money for the foundation, it feels good for us. We don't get paid. Again, I do want to disclaim this. The charity, the nonprofit itself, no one is getting paid. The board's not getting paid. None of the officers are getting paid yet. All right. Yes, down the line, we can see paying salaries. I don't want to promise that we're always going to be this way. The plan is right now to be this way for the near future. So yes, all of the money that we get for now is going to the programs. We want to see these things blossom and succeed for sure. That is priority number 1. And you won't see us taking salaries this year for sure. So just so you guys know, we're getting through this year, and then we're going to be building. We'll be building out the nonprofit in years beyond that. Just want to let you guys know. I want to be upfront about this stuff. All right. So yes, you can fundraise off of your Race Roster page. Now, number 3, you can join a team. So I've gone on and registered for myself. I've set up Team Ordinary Marathoner Foundation. You can join that team if you like. That's meant to be sort of the catch-all. If you don't want to join a team, you don't have to. If you want to join a team and you don't know what team to join, or you don't want to start your own, you can join Team Ordinary Marathoner Foundation. That one's out there. I put that out there myself, and hopefully, we'll get some people to register for it. I know Katie Mayo's group is going to have a team. She's going to be doing Team Boston. So if you live out in the Boston area and you're thinking about joining the Ordinary Marathon, you can join Katie's team. I know Sherry Burton, when I talked to her about potentially doing a 4-Run-3 team. It's a local running store here. And if she sets up the team here and you're part of that local running group, you can join Team 4-Run-3. And we hope to have a bunch of teams, and we can compete mileage-wise, and we can compete fundraising-wise. And it's all going to be up there listed on the website. It's just the website does a lot more than we were able to do before, and we're looking forward to enhancing the race. I downloaded the pictures, ladies and gentlemen, for the slideshow, about 600 pictures. 600 pictures. I asked you guys for more pictures. You guys came up big. You came up big. So I'm going to be sifting through those over the next few weeks. We will hopefully have it out, and within a month we'll have the slideshow out. It's always good to see the slideshow and see and remember the race and the things that we did. And it's I tell you, there's a lot of great pictures in there, and a lot of moving pictures, a lot of moving tributes from Run for the Fallen and stuff like that. You guys do an awesome job, and thank you for all the experience, making the experience as wonderful as it is. 5 a.m. warrior rides are back in effect. We started this last week. I was 4 for 5 at the 5 a.m. ride. The one day I missed, I did show up at the 6 a.m. ride. So I feel pretty good about that. I did miss yesterday for a little bit of crazy reasons we'll talk about in a bit. But I was back on the horse today. So overall, out of 8 days, I am 6 for 8. Really, I'm going to give myself 6.5 for 8 since I did go to that 6 a.m. ride. Again, we have 5 a.m. rides. That's the 5 a.m. warrior ride. And then we have 6 a.m. rides. You can join either one. I've been trying to go to the 5 a.m. for an hour and then add a little bit more during the 6 a.m. ride. We've had some new people show up. We've had some days have been really solid participation. Some days we just have 1 or 2 people show up. It doesn't matter. We're going to be there. It's going to be open for business. I am obviously traveling to lovely Des Moines tomorrow. So for the next few days, I will be setting up the ride, but I won't be riding it. So it will be there for you guys. If you're on Zwift and you want to join those 5 a.m., 6 a.m. rides, let us know. We were going to be live streaming them on the YouTube channel as well. We have been, at least. Yesterday, big day. New Garmin day. You guys see it? I got the Forerunner 945 XT. I had the Forerunner 935 XT, and I had that for about 5 years. And I beat the crap out of that watch. Riding, running, swimming. 4 Ironman races, 4.5 really. Well, I probably shouldn't count the one that I DNF'd, but let's see. So 3 Ironman Lake Placid, really 2.5 since I DNF'd, and 1 Ironman Maryland and 1 half Ironman Mont Tremblant. So that watch really the part of the watch that broke was the band, and I just got sick of the band breaking. And instead of buying another band and risking the watch breaking and wasting another band, I just said, all right, it's time for a new one. So Steph got me the watch for early Father's Day present. Thank you, Stephanie. Good wife. The only thing that's better than new Garmin Day is new bike day. So maybe next Father's Day. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. I got to tell you, one of the things I was talking about this morning was I got to do a number of rides indoors and a number of rides outdoors. And sometimes it's the process of just getting the bike off the trainer. And it's not that bad. It's really not that bad of a process. But I do get lazy. It's very easy to just keep it on the trainer as long as possible and pop it off every once in a while. I do get lazy from time to time, and I don't get those outdoor rides in. So it would be nice to have that second bike. Maybe Christmas. Can I push for Christmas? I don't know. We'll see. And that kind of leads me to yesterday was new Garmin Day. But yesterday was also kind of somber for the family as well. And a lot of you guys know this because you follow me on Facebook, and some of you I talked to you guys about this personally. If you listen to the podcast, my dog Jake, he's been getting old. He's 13 and a half. Was 13 and a half. And we had to put him down yesterday. It was a very sad day. Very upsetting. And I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it too much. I still haven't kind of processed this. It's, I had that dog for 13 and a half years. He's pretty much my best friend over 13 years. We got him when he was 6 months old, actually. I think we got him in August of, 2008. Yeah, August of 2008. And he was just the best dog. And, you've heard me talk about him in the past. You've probably heard his footsteps upstairs. That was, if you heard footsteps just now, by the way, that was not him, obviously. I hope not. Yeah, if you watch me ride on the bike, for sure, you heard his footsteps upstairs. And, man, it's been tough. And I think, ever since that movie, Marley and Me, and if it was really a book first, I actually did read that book. But that was kind of a phenomenon. And I've always felt ever since that movie that talking about the death of a pet is sort of almost gratuitous in that, it's emotional, but it's kind of like a cheap way to get people to listen to your podcast or read your stories or whatever. Everything is just a copy of Marley and Me. But, he meant a lot to this family, and it's just a void there right now. It's just a void. Something's missing. Walking downstairs this morning, he wasn't in his normal spot, and I opened the back door, and it made the sound that there's a little bell, and I opened the door, and he wasn't there to go out. It was, it's a little bit of a transition that we're trying to make now to life without Jake, and it's tougher than I thought it was going to be. I kind of knew it would be a little bit tough, but I've been rolling with it up until now. We knew this day was coming for probably about a week. I didn't really say much about it, but it was tougher than I thought it would be. Let's just put it that way. And last night I spent a lot of time kind of going through old pictures, old videos of him, and just thinking about all the times that we had together. Think about how fast life is, man. Life goes by so fast. And I think about his life and where I was at the beginning of it and where I am now. For him, that was a lifetime. And man, it was emotional for sure. But again, I don't want to, just talk about this for podcast sake. It's still kind of processing. It's still processing. I'm actually surprised I'm holding it together as well as I am right now. So it's better to kind of just move off of it at this point. But he was a great dog, and we're going to miss him a lot. And I like to think that I asked Sam yesterday, where do you think he is right now? What do you think he's doing? And she's like, he's running up and down the stairs. He's just running up, because he used to run up and down the stairs all the time. And at a certain point, he just couldn't do it anymore. His back legs kind of gave out. And so for 2 years, I was carrying him up the stairs whenever he wanted to go upstairs. So Sam thought that maybe he's running up and down the stairs now. And I thought that was probably a good, he's been staring at those stairs now for the last 2 years, probably thinking to himself, I used to go up there and now I can't. And now hopefully he can. But I know, I'm not a religious person. So for me, it's like the concept of heaven is like, I just don't know. I don't claim to know these things, but, I just know that he was a perfectly good soul. There was not a mean ounce of, there was not a mean ounce of that dog. Everything was goodness with him. He was a very loyal friend. Always the first one there to meet me when I came home, and I'm going to miss that. So, on that note, let's call it a day, and we'll be back at you next week. Good luck to Mike Romans and Aaron Shepard. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll meet you guys in person tomorrow. Yep. And again, if you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/ordinarymarathoner. One thing to clear up, that money does not go to the foundation. I had one question over the weekend about whether or not that money is tax deductible. It's not. It goes right to the LLC. That money goes right to, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, so I just want to clear it up, make sure you guys know. It goes to supporting the podcast. It goes to our media hosts, our web host, we have a filter that we pay for every month. We have our Zoom calls that we, remember we were doing the happy hours and stuff like that. So we have a Zoom account, pays for that. It pays for a lot of stuff. It's paying partly for our upgrades that we're going to do in our live stream studio and in the gym. So you guys, that's where that money goes. It doesn't go in my pocket, and I'm not being wealthy off the Patreon. It goes right to the show to enhance the show, to hopefully give you guys a better product. And you get recognition for it as well. So if you go to patreon.com/ordinarymarathoner, sign up to be a patron. Your name we'll read it out on the podcast, number one, and it'll also appear on the scroll that will come out in about 3 seconds after I tell you every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.